This is actually a day off for me. I'm in need of just not doing too much, even though I'm gonna be in my kitchen a lot, so I thought it'd be perfect to show you what I eat. I love to have something before I train. I didn't eat anything before I trained this morning, so after I cook my proper breakfast that I'm gonna eat today, I'm actually gonna put together these little chia pots, which I usually have like 1 or 2 in the fridge, so I can just grab it and go, but I didn't have it this morning. So I'm gonna show you, this is like one of my favorite things at the moment, just to kind of have on hand. Before we get into all of the cooking, all of the kitchen action, I wanna give a big thank you to Element, who are the sponsors of today's video. Right about now, after my morning workout, my sauna session is when I like to take my Element electrolytes. Electrolytes are a key component of healthy hydration. When your electrolytes are dialed in and they are balanced, it means that you're able to maintain steady energy and you have improved cognitive function. One fact that I've learned recently is the role in electrolytes in promoting restful sleep. For me personally, anything that I can do to optimize my sleep, I am all in. I've definitely upped my training recently. I've always trained, but right now I'm feeling the strongest that I have felt for years. Element electrolytes have enabled me to perform better for longer. I feel stronger. My recovery is so much quicker. I don't have that afternoon fatigue after an intense workout. I can really feel the difference. So by taking just one of these Element sachets, you're provided with 1000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, which is a science-based electrolyte ratio. Also really important to note is that Element has 0 sugars, no fillers, no colors, none of that stuff. I actually fell in love with Element on my recent travels to Mexico, not only for the long haul flights, super important to stay hydrated, but I was training consistently. Every morning I was training, it was hot, it was humid. I actually traveled with a sample pack where I got to try out 8 of the flavors. There are actually 9 flavors in total. Element just launched their new flavor, chocolate caramel, which I haven't tried, but I'm sure it's fantastic given that all of the other flavors are incredible. My personal favorites are the watermelon, the orange, and I really like the raw unflavored as well. Right now, Element are offering you a free sample pack with any order that you place. I think it's a really great way to try out the different flavors, see which ones you prefer. You can try 8 out of the 9 flavors. So go and get your free sample pack with any order by heading to www.drinkelement.com/Tish. This deal is only available through the link that I have shared in my description. So make sure you click on that link, head over to the website. Thank you so much, Element, for sponsoring today's video. Let's jump into breakfast. Let's get this on the go. I'm actually very hungry. I just want to eat. That's what I want to do right now. So I'm going to put together a very basic omelette. I've got some really good eggs. Okay, yeah, I found some mushrooms, some peppers. Moments like this, I'm reminded why I love to prep my vegetables. You guys know how I do on a Saturday when I go to the farmer's market. Prep my vegetables, put them in glass Tupperware for when I'm really hungry, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to wash and chop. It's already washed. All I need to do is chop. Drizzled some pesto over, and I also put a little bit of cheese inside as well. A couple months ago I actually stopped, not completely, but you know, I just didn't buy any cheese, or I just didn't buy any dairy. I was buying my coconut yogurt. The last couple weeks I just fancy a bit of cheese. That's why I just can't do absolutes with anything. I'll eat what I want when I want, and that will continue to change. It will go through phases and stages. But right now I'm just having a little bit of a cheese moment, if I'm honest. I'm gonna have some bread with it. This, I've shown you before, I really like the Aldi sourdough. It's just the white sourdough. Okay, toast buttered. Let me sit down and enjoy this. I'm not really a meal prep pro, to be honest. It's not really my thing. I like having, as you know, prepped, clean farmer's market vegetables. I'll usually cook up like a pot of chickpeas or butter beans on a Sunday and just have those cooked in my fridge so I can throw them in things. One thing that I have been loving prepped are my little chia seed and oat pots, which I mentioned earlier. I'm going to show you how I put them together. They're really handy in the morning before I go to the gym. I just need a little bit of fuel. So at the bottom of my little pots, I like to cook some fruit up, whether that's berries or apples and pears or a combination of both. Today I've got some blueberries and I'm going to add in some acai powder, definitely not for the taste, just for the nutrition. So the base for this, obviously oats, chia seeds, like any milk of choice. I'm using some almond milk today, cinnamon. I'm going to add in some raisins, a little bit of this protein powder. You can use any protein powder that you want to, or you can just leave it out. It's completely up to you. I like to add in some yogurt. It just makes it extra creamy. So right now I'm going to use the coconut yogurt. If you want to use Greek yogurt, that would be great. Any yogurt of choice. Adding in some vanilla essence makes all the difference for me. So I put my blueberries to cook. I added in some acai powder and just cook them down. Sometimes I add a touch of water or like a touch of coconut oil. I just like to cook them down once they're kind of like looking like this. Grabbed my large bowl and I placed in some porridge oats along with the chia seeds, and then I placed in some cinnamon. Extras for me included raisins and some pumpkin seeds, and I threw over the milk. I used some almond milk. Remember that the chia seeds will expand, everything will get a little bit thicker. You just got to be patient for a couple of minutes. So once I had mixed everything up, I then added in the yogurt. So I used some coconut yogurt and yeah, just mixed everything once again. I also placed in a little bit of protein powder and some vanilla essence, which I didn't show you on the screen. I find that the coconut yogurt sweetens it up enough for me. If you want to add an extra sweetener just to kind of like suit what you enjoy, then you can definitely do that. And I placed in the cooked blueberries, followed on by the chia and oat mixture, and I topped it with some almond butter. Simple. A really easy grab and go. Could be a pre-workout, a little snack. I wouldn't call it breakfast because I need a lot more for my breakfast personally, but yeah, this is great when I'm in a hurry. After breakfast, I headed out. I had a few things to do. Whilst I was out, I found these purple sweet potatoes. These are always so hard to track down. When I'm cooking sweet potatoes whole, I usually just cook like 4 or 5 at a time, and then I can just keep some in the fridge. I just love sweet potatoes any time of day, even for breakfast. So yeah, I put my purple sweet potatoes to cook. I pierced them before, wrapping them in some parchment paper, and then I wrap them in foil. This for me is the best way to cook them. It makes them really, really soft and it doesn't dry them out. You know, I always love to have some canned tinned fish on hand. So I had some tuna today and I just mixed it with some yogurt and some parsley, onion, salt, pepper, added in a little bit of sriracha and some lemon juice, just mix that up. So once the sweet potato was cooked, I placed on top a little bit of butter. I also had some cooked quinoa just like left over in the fridge, thought I should add some of that on top along with the tuna, and then I had some random other little bits, so some olives, I had a little bit of hummus, some raw grated carrot, avocado, watercress, threw on top some sesame seeds. I drizzled on top some balsamic and some extra virgin olive oil. This is the extra virgin olive oil that I'm using right now. The colour of the olive oil is out of this world. These olives were picked only 4 weeks ago, so they are the freshest. It's like early harvest season right now for extra virgin olive oil. Anyways, this lunch was beautiful. I enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. You know, you just enjoy a meal? Yeah, that's how I felt about this. I'm gonna cook up a beef dish tonight. I've got some beef seasoned in the fridge. Even though I haven't got the biggest appetite, I'm gonna cook it and maybe just have like a little bit. And I'm gonna cook some creamy polenta because I've been craving like buttery polenta, creamy polenta with loads and loads of parmesan. It's just been on my mind. Before I do that, I wanna share with you one of my favorite teas, and it has been for a long time now actually. I first learned about red dates and all of their benefits when I read this book. It's called The First 40 Days. Whether you're a new mother or not, I think this book is absolutely fascinating. There's so much valuable information in it, and just like kind of general tips in how to like care and nourish yourself. Like I said, whether you're a new mother or not, just for everyday human beings in this very fast-paced life. I'm definitely drawn to drinking red date tea during and after my period, but of course you can drink it throughout the month anyhow, anyway. The reason why I love to make a tea using red dates during and after my period is because in traditional Chinese medicine, red dates are known to tonify your qi, and they're known to nourish the blood, which makes sense during that time of the month. Jujube dates has a host of other benefits. It's really known for its calming properties. So if you're feeling a little ungrounded, give this tea a try. I find it so soothing. Sometimes I like to pair it with goji berries or ginger or cinnamon. I don't just use it to make a tea. Sometimes I'll actually throw like a couple of jujube fruits into like a broth or soup that I'm making. At the beginning of this year, I had something called tendinitis in my right hand, and When I tell you, I've never been in that kind of pain in my life. So I tried acupuncture. I also tried reflexology. When I went to see the reflexologist, she was the one that actually made me think about how I was preparing red date tea. So before, I would just like put the red dates into like a little teapot and just let them steep overnight. And she was like, that's not enough. You actually have to like let them simmer and like actually like heat up properly just to like release everything. So I was like, okay, let me try it. Once I tried it, I understood the red date tea was like a lot more potent. So after I learned that information, which was in January, I've never ever gone back to preparing my red date tea any other way. Obviously, if there's another way that you prepare your red date tea, I would love to hear from you in the comments. But the way that I do it is I just grab like a stainless steel pan and I put my red dates into the pan and then I throw water over them. So I bring it to a very, I wouldn't even say a boil, like just a very gentle simmer, and I just let it simmer for like an hour or so, and then I just turn the heat off completely and I let it sit overnight. That's how I like to do it. We've got red date tea simmering away. The sun is about to go down. Sun goes down about 4:30 in the UK right now. Like I mentioned, I already seasoned my beef. So I'm just gonna let it just sit out of the fridge for like half an hour before I put it in the pot. But yeah, let me do all the other chopping of the onions and the carrots. Okay, so I found some root vegetables, got some carrots, huge parsnip, and I've got a Swede. So I'm gonna chop that up, chop all of my onions and garlic up. Cooking up polenta is actually really, really easy. Maybe I'll show you guys like in another recipe video how simple it is to do. I used water to cook mine, then I threw in butter and I threw in lots and lots of Parmesan once it was cooked. It doesn't involve whisking for 30 minutes straight, but you do need to whisk at the beginning when you're putting the polenta into the water, just to ensure that you don't get any lumps. Polenta is a true definition of a comfort food. So I served this polenta up with this slow cooked beef stew. The beef was so tender, it was actually gorgeous. I didn't have the biggest appetite this evening, so I had like a little bowl of this, but it was perfect. It was just enough. It was just what I needed. Let me know if you'll be cooking up anything that you've seen me make in today's video. I will see you all in my next video. Everyone take care. Bye.